Hello everyone, welcome to Wicked West Books. My name is Meg West, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 reads of 2019. 2019, as far as volume, was a great reading year for me. I managed to read 117 books last year. However, most of them came out kind of average. I have already posted my top 5 worst books of 2019, so if you haven't watched that video, it is available on my channel, and I tore some books apart because I didn't like them. However, the books I'm talking about today are the books that I absolutely loved in 2019. So let's get started with number 5. Number 5 on the list is The Bone Witch by Renj Pekka, which I borrowed from the library. I have bought the second book in the series and need to collect all of the hardbacks because I absolutely loved it, and I think that's one that I'm going to need for my bookshelves in hardback because it was great. Of course, every video I talk about today, I gave a 5-star rating to on Goodreads. My thoughts on this book was that it was an excellent blend of a fantasy world and memoirs of a geisha. I loved the magic system in this world, and I loved how the storytelling is flipping back and forth from the kind of present time in her world to the past where she first got started. And also, the way that this story ends up makes me really want to go on and read that second book sooner rather than later, because I need to know what happens in book 2 and book 3 that gets Taya to this point. So basically, in this book, Taya is a bone witch. It is a very unique kind of witch in this kind of world, and she can't control other elements as well as other witches can, but she can control an element that they cannot, which is the dead. And it's basically just kind of her story of being such a unique kind of witch in this world, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the direction that these books actually go. Number 4 on this list is Legion by Brandon Sanderson. This is a short story kind of series. There are 3 books that you can get. I've listened to the first 2 books in this kind of trilogy of short stories this year, and I absolutely love the main character. It was fascinating and completely different than any kind of other books that I have read because of the main character. And to describe him, I think I'm going to read directly from the back of the book for this. Stephen Leeds is a man whose unique mental condition allows him to generate a multitude of personalities, hallucinatory entities with a wide variety of personal characteristics and a vast array of highly specialized skills. So it sounds like a person with DID, dissociative identity disorder, but he is not, and he makes it clear in the book that he does not actually have this disorder the way that it actually exists in real life. It is a kind of fantasy kind of take on that, in that he can create any persona he needs to hold whatever information he needs, and it's like his brain can hold so much, and he's a genius, but it can't function with holding all of that information in its brain, so he creates personas that know things about it to hold the information he needs. And I think he can create them at will, but he cannot get rid of them. And the first story in this is kind of like a Da Vinci Code treasure hunt for a camera that can take pictures of the past. And I loved it. I was so drawn into this book and the character, and just being inside the mind of someone who has those personalities and sees them as physical entities even though he knows that they are not there. And it was just fascinating for me. Number 3 on this list, and the only one that I actually own a physical copy of, is Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. And wow, did that throw off the light balance in this. So for this book, honestly, my Goodreads review of this is exactly what I want to tell you about this book. So I'm going to put the book away and bring out my phone and just read exactly what I wrote on Goodreads, because it's kind of better to go into this book not knowing what really to expect. And if you like the way that my review sounds, which I wrote the second I finished this book, then you will very likely also enjoy Bridge of Clay. This book was goddamn beautiful. This story bounces back and forth and all around to tell the story of the Dunbar boys. It starts as close to the present as you can get. It starts with Matthew, Rory, Henry, Clay, and Tommy's mom learning the piano, making mistakes, and leaving the country. It starts with Michael, the murderer, sitting at the feet of his mother, the best typist in the whole goddamn world, as Michael falls in love twice. It is told in the same way that the mind can wander, all over the place, but making perfect sense. This book is told perfectly imperfect, and I loved every minute of it. Book 2 on this list is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I loved this book, and the second I was done with it, I recommended it to everybody. This follows the story of Evelyn Hugo as she goes through her life as a big celebrity and being married 7 times. The big question on everyone's mind in this book is, out of her 7 husbands, which one was Evelyn Hugo's true love? The answer is none. The answer is that until this breaking story, Evelyn, she is a bisexual woman who was in love with a woman for all of her life. And this story follows the reporter Monique as she is told Evelyn's life story and is also told the reason that she was the one chosen to hear this entire story. And it was beautiful. It had excellent storytelling, and I love hearing Evelyn Hugo's voice as she told the whole thing, and knowing that she is nearing the end of her life. She is an old lady now, and everyone in the story that she has to talk about has died, and just getting all of that information told this way was amazing. And book 1 on this list is the only book that I finished this year and turned around to reread it because I needed to live in the world longer than the book let me. That book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuinton. I did just watch a whole hour-long book talk about why people in the UK particularly did not like this book. This book is still on my number 1 spot. And in case you're wondering, the reason that they didn't really like it is that the character of Prince Henry is more of a caricature of British culture than an actuality of it. But I just loved the male-male romance story that was in the forefront of it. And yes, it has the idea of where I would like American politics to be. But this story is an enemies to lovers story about the gay Prince of England and the biracial first son of the United States. And it's just super, super cute. And it is a little bit of a new adult read, so there is some, on my level anyway, mild smut that happens in it. And it was super cute, and I loved the story all around. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I will be posting videos every Wednesday all year long. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wicked day.